Hey everyone, and welcome back to The Explainer. I am literally so excited to get into this one today. We are unraveling a fascinating story that starts out as a simple living room mystery, but quickly expands into this massive, global food revelation. We're going to explore how the food we feed the absolute most vulnerable among us, our babies, is undergoing a radical and, frankly, incredibly necessary transformation. If you've ever stared at a food label and wondered about the real journey of those ingredients, well, buckle up, because this explainer is going to blow your mind. So, our whole journey today kicks off with this incredibly relatable everyday moment. Listen to this. This is Elton. My son-in-law and I were feeding my granddaughter and wondering why we were using baby food pouches from Turkey. Right? It's such a good question. We grow apples, carrots, and spinach right here in the US. So why on earth are we complicating the supply chain for something so simple? It's a pretty wild juxtaposition when you think about it. On one side, you've got a modern American family just hanging out in their kitchen, trying to feed their baby a healthy snack. And on the other, you have these generationally untouched, wild harvested groves located halfway across the globe in Turkey. It feels totally counterintuitive, doesn't it? But to understand why a local family would actually need to rely on dirt from another continent just to get a safe carrot or apple puree, well, we've got to look at a pretty dark reality of our modern agricultural system.
All right, Section 1, the heavy metal problem and that massive 2018 wake-up call.
95%. Let that sink in for a second. Back in 2018, a groundbreaking report by Consumer Reports sent absolute shockwaves through the parenting community. Investigations revealed this terrifying truth. Up to 95% of store-bought baby foods, and yeah, that includes both conventional and organic brands, contained toxic levels of heavy metals. Literally 95%. It wasn't just a few bad apples, it was a systemic issue across the entire aisle.
What we're dealing with here are the big four offenders: arsenic, cadmium, lead, and mercury. Now, on a basic level, these heavy metals do occur naturally in the Earth's crust. We know that. But the real problem? Human intervention. Decades of industrial agriculture, mining, fracking, wastewater irrigation, it's all heavily concentrated these toxic metals into our environment. So when you grow plants in that contaminated dirt, crops like carrots, sweet potatoes, and rice just act like sponges, absorbing those heavy metals right up into the roots and leaves.
And you'd think there'd be strict federal limits on this, right? Well, it's a surprisingly complex regulatory environment. Despite tremendous pressure from advocates for years, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration actually hasn't mandated a final, comprehensive safety standard for heavy metal limits across all baby foods. They've proposed some initiatives, like Closer to Zero, but without strict finalized federal limits, caregivers and food companies have basically been left to fly blind, searching for their own solutions to protect kids.
Which brings us to Section 2, Why Source from Turkey? The Search for Pristine Soil.
Okay, before we cross the Atlantic, we need to understand exactly how safety is measured here. Parts per billion, or ppb. It's exactly what it sounds like. 1 unit of contaminant per 1 billion parts of the whole. It is an incredibly microscopic amount. But here's the kicker. Because babies are so small, the calories they consume make up a huge fraction of their body weight compared to us adults. Even just a few parts per billion of lead or arsenic can impair brain function. So testing for these elements has to be rigorous and extraordinarily sensitive.
So why are companies looking all the way over there? Well, the Turkey advantage is incredibly clear. The region offers some of the cleanest, purest soil on the planet. A lot of the farming land there has been virtually untouched by modern, chemical-heavy industrial practices. We're talking about generations of farmers relying on natural, regenerative agriculture. Plus, a lot of the fruit actually comes from wild harvested orchards. Because of this unique geography and history, the baseline for naturally occurring heavy metals in the soil is extremely low.
It really boils down to this idea. It's not the scale of the farm that matters, it's the standards. You might have this wonderful, well-intentioned, tiny local farm right down the road in the US. But if that farm happens to be sitting in a region with historically high levels of naturally occurring heavy metals in the soil or groundwater, those crops are still going to absorb them. Geography totally dictates safety, and that's exactly why reaching out globally to places like Turkey became a real necessity to ensure the safest possible baby food.
All right, Section 3, the regenerative solution and going way beyond organic.
You've probably seen the Regenerative Organic Alliance certification, or ROC. Going standard organic is great. It means you aren't spraying synthetic pesticides. But regenerative organic takes it massive steps further. It's a holistic approach rooted in indigenous ecological knowledge that actively rebuilds soil health, restores biodiversity, and even sequesters carbon. Things like composting, zero tillage, and cover cropping literally bring the dirt back to life.
And guys, this is where it gets really exciting. Healthy living soil doesn't just block the bad stuff, it totally supercharges the good stuff. Check this out. Regenerative crops yield 34% more vitamin K, up to 50% more zinc and magnesium, and 60 to 70% more total phenolics, which are those awesome, powerful antioxidants. By cultivating a rich microbiome in the soil, the plant roots unlock and absorb way more nutrients. So regenerative farming is kind of a magic bullet. It solves the toxicity problem and the declining nutrient density problem at the exact same time.
And believe me, the market is catching on fast. The organic baby food market, which is sitting around $4.8 billion globally, is projected to nearly double. Why? Because parents are absolutely demanding it. Concerned caregivers are voting with their wallets, driving this massive economic shift toward clean label, high nutrition standards. They want actual peace of mind built into the product, not just hoped for.
Moving on to Section 4, testing soil to spoon and raising the standard.
So how do they prove it? Unprecedented verification. Innovative brands are now using a crazy rigorous 4-point testing process. First, they test the soil itself annually. Second, the raw ingredients are tested per harvest lot. Third, they test the prepared ingredients right after blending. And finally, the finished product gets tested directly in the pouch or jar. They use highly precise independent labs that catch heavy metals down to just 2 parts per billion. It's a safety net at every stage. If there's a spike in the dirt, they catch it way before it ever becomes a puree.
And the best part? They aren't hiding these results in some corporate filing cabinet. This soil-to-spoon transparency means companies are slapping QR codes directly onto the packaging. Caregivers just scan the code and boom, they get real-time access to the actual finished goods test results for that exact batch of food they're holding. You don't have to trust a marketing slogan, you can literally read the hard data yourself. It's a total game changer for empowering the consumer.
Which brings us to our final section, food for thought, the macro question. Because, when you zoom out past the baby food aisle, you realize something pretty profound. If the soil our standard agriculture relies on is contaminated enough that we have to source from halfway across the world and do 4-point testing just to make a safe jar of pureed carrots for 6-month-old, it kind of makes you wonder how many heavy metals are in the food the rest of us are eating.